Hi, Jan.
Hi, Merle.
Fantastic to see you.
It's very good to see you finally in the flesh, Merle.
It's amazing because those Zoom calls, while they're great, if you have a bad hair day, not so good otherwise.
Yep, Zoom for me has been a learning curve, I tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hello to you. As you can tell, this is Merle West, your Rector's Warden, and my sister warden, Jan Jones, and we're here just to shine some light on some people who need some, not necessarily attention, but just a little bit of praise.
Yeah. Hi, folks, from me. Just to let you know, bear with us. We do not have a formal script, so we're just going to be very candid and just very friendly and talking to you today.
So one of the things we thought was really important, we're pretty sure that you're aware of all of the work that's going on in the church on a normal basis without COVID-19. One of the things we wanted you to know is how much work goes on behind the scenes to keep our congregation together when we have this bit of isolation, which hopefully is coming to an end. Well, not for a while.
Not for a while, yeah.
Yeah, the new legislation, of course, takes place today, but we have no idea how long it's going to be before we get over the 50 mark so we can open church again.
Yeah. And what a good day that will be. I am waiting for that. I miss you guys a lot, just in the flesh. Many of you know that Merle and I are taking turns checking the building here, and it's a little bit like a ghost ship. Walking around, people should be here and they're not. It's just not the same place. It's a lovely building. It is not formally who the church is, but we're looking forward to seeing you guys back here.
So one of the things we want to point out, the first person I'd like to recognize is Lori. Lori's our administrator. She has had an incredible learning curve putting together things for splicing together the videos that you watch. Being the communication hub, she takes all of the information that people send by email and makes sure that the information gets to the right person so action can be taken. She just is doing an incredible job, and we really want to thank her for that.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Chris Chapaya. Chris has been, he's a quiet fellow, but he's here a lot, and he's keeping a very watchful eye on the building, catching things as they come up. We've had very few unexpected things happening, but in an empty building you have to look for things, and he's very skillful at that. Always friendly, always helpful, and he lets us know when something is not quite right. A very skilled guy, and I'm just very grateful for his reliability in being here, making sure stuff is good.
Somebody else, and he's actually standing behind the camera today, is Chris Barnes. And Chris has been responsible for the quality of the videos that you're watching when Pastor Dave or the Salos or anyone gets up to preach. He's usually behind the camera and can make sure that everything goes well. And gives us some really good tips on how to make things better. Not only that, Chris has continued with his mission work. Alpha, for those of you that aren't involved in the Alpha program, is continuing. We've broken it up into two different sections. So we have a video that we watch, and then we have some Zoom calls on the Tuesday night at the same time where people can actually discuss the video, and it's wonderful to carry that on. And I know Chris is really busy behind the scenes doing so many things that are really meaningful for St. Aidan's.
I want to highlight Les Kovacs. He's a very hard-working guy. He does a lot of interconnections in the church between ministries, a lot of communication, an awful lot of behind-the-scenes paperwork and registrations and licensing and stuff like that nobody ever sees, but it has to be done for the province, etc. Very gifted teacher. Very involved in all the services that have been put together lately, and reliable, friendly guy, always helpful, always there. And that's what I want to say about Les.
Well, and one of the other things I want to say about Les too, Jan, is while the church isn't open, we had a number of things in our programming for the coming year.
Yeah.
And even though we're not meeting together, he's behind the scenes still working on, we talked about at the annual meeting about getting a new youth worker. And I know he's working hard with the ladies to come up with a job description so that we can start in the process and have somebody in place for the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and last but not least, we have Pastor Dave. And Pastor Dave, you haven't missed seeing him because you see him on Sunday mornings in the service. He writes a blog, he's coordinating all of those things, and he does prayers with the pastor. And the other thing that is amazing is all of the extra work that's involved. Not only does he write sermons and then have to record them, which isn't an easy task. I learned that last week. Mm-hmm. Those lights and the camera make a real difference when you're trying to do something. Yeah. But he is the linch point for us. He's the person that stays in touch with parishioners to make sure that not only their spiritual needs are met, but also their practical needs as well.
Mm-hmm. We'd also like to thank, and I did count them, there's 22 of you who have been involved very directly in the making of all these films and videos and the services. People who are readers, people who come up to do intercessions, or who do the sermon or the intro or the worship. There's 22 of you, and I just want to thank you. Merle and I just want to thank you for doing that, and for doing it so quickly. In the beginning, in March, when the virus came out, we had to move fast, and you did. So thank you.
Yeah, and not to be left out are people who are not staff members, but who really are working hard behind the scenes. Deb Hall, for one, she's coordinating any needs of the parish in a practical sense, arranging for riders. Jeff Hall, our new treasurer, has done an incredible job trying to find funding that's available through government programs, and trust me, that's not an easy job, and he's really been extremely diligent at it.
Also for vestry, we want to mention you as well. You guys have been tireless in making phone calls. What happened was Debbie split up the parish list and assigned people to different vestry members and leadership. And we've all been making calls on a regular basis just to check in with folks and see if there's any needs, see how you're doing, can we help you, can we pray, whatever might be needed. So we thank vestry for that as well.
Yeah. Last but not least, we thank you.
Yeah.
You have been incredible in keeping together as church. You have, in huge numbers, logged on to our Sunday worship services, to our Wednesday night prayer services, reading the blogs that have been posted by Pastor Dave and others. And you are the church, and we are absolutely and completely delighted that when we come together again, everybody's going to be so grateful to see each other. Oh, and thank you so much for joining in with Coffee Fellowship on Sunday morning. We're really enjoying that. So the breakout rooms seem to be good, so that's something we'll continue to try. So in the meantime, we want you to stay well, to feel God's blessings around you, and to continue worshiping together, if not in person, at least in spirit. Jan, anything to add?
No, just wanted to thank you all for your many prayers. We know there's a lot of prayer happening out there in the parish. God is answering prayers. We've had quite a few. And just thank you for your commitment to this parish and your faithfulness in that. And we really do look forward to seeing you again.
And I look forward to seeing you again.
Again, yeah.